In today's headlines, 2 men have been convicted of murdering 15-year-old Noongar boy Cassius Turvey, whose death in October 2022 sparked national outrage. In other news, National Indigenous Times reports that Victoria Police has paid $46.5 million in civil litigation settlements since 2020, while still seeking expanded powers. More on that later. Kaya, this is the National Indigenous Times Daily News Bulletin for Thursday, the 8th of May. 2 men have been found guilty of murdering 15-year-old Noongar boy Cassius Turvey, who was brutally attacked in bushland in Perth's eastern suburbs in October 2022. Jack Brealey and Brodie Palmer were convicted of murder, while a third man, Mitchell Forth, was found guilty of manslaughter. A fourth accused, Alicia Gilmore, was acquitted. Cassius was walking with friends after school when he was chased and struck with a metal pole, suffering severe head injuries. He died in hospital 10 days later, sparking national outrage and a wave of support for his family. The jury heard that the group had armed themselves with poles after a series of escalating incidences involving local youths. Prosecutors argued that the attack on Cassius was the endpoint of a violent feud that had nothing to do with him. The verdicts follow a harrowing 12-week trial in the WA Supreme Court and mark a significant step in the fight for justice for Cassius and his loved ones. Port Adelaide forward Willie Rioli has ruled himself out of Saturday night's highly anticipated showdown, following allegations that he made threats towards opposition players earlier in 2024. The decision comes after days of scrutiny, with Rioli attending training and a meeting with AFL before stepping back from the match. The AFL is currently investigating claims Rioli sent an alleged threatening text about Bailey Dale to another Bulldogs player after last weekend's match. He was fined $1,000 for striking Dale during the game, which also featured heated on-field exchanges. Further allegations involving incidences against Essendon and Geelong have also emerged, with Port Adelaide confirming private discussions with the affected clubs. Port's General Manager Chris Davies said the club is prioritising Rioli's well-being during what he described as a challenging period, while facing backlash for his recent social media comments about Hawthorn, which triggered racist and homophobic abuse online. Davies emphasised that Rioli will be supported rather than stood down. Victoria Police has paid out $46.5 million in civil litigation settlements since 2020, while continuing to push for stronger policing powers. Critics say the payouts point to systematic issues, with Aboriginal people 11 times more likely to be searched than non-Indigenous Victorians. Despite this, new laws now allow police to conduct warrantless searches for up to 6 months in designated areas, raising alarms among legal and community groups. The Human Rights Law Centre and Victorian Aboriginal Legal Service warn these powers risk fueling racial profiling without delivering meaningful safety outcomes. The figures follow damaging testimony to the Yoorrook Justice Commission and courts from Aboriginal people who allege serious police misconduct, often resulting in large settlements but no formal apologies or accountability. Greens leader Adam Bandt has officially lost his seat of Melbourne after 15 years in federal parliament, conceding defeat on Thursday. Despite winning the primary vote with 40.2%, preference flows from other parties, including the Liberals, which helped deliver victory to Labor candidate Sarah Whitty, who claimed 31.5% of first preferences. Former Greens colleague and now Independent Senator Lydia Thorpe expressed her sadness over the result, thanking Bandt for his leadership and support. She attributed the Greens' loss to a nationwide swing driven by fears of a potential Dutton government, stating that many voters may not fully understand the preferential voting system. Throughout his tenure, Bandt was a strong advocate for Indigenous rights, championing the implementation of the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples in Australian law. Under his leadership, the Greens endorsed the Uluru Statement of the Heart, calling for truth-telling, treaty-making and a First Nations voice. Despite Bandt's personal loss, the Greens retained all their Senate seats up for re-election, holding 11 senators nationwide. The only exception remains Victoria, where Thorpe became an independent in 2023 after leaving the party over its support for the Voice. A total of 71 finalists have been announced for the 2025 Telstra National Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Art Awards, also known as NATSIA, Australia's longest running and most prestigious First Nations art prize. Presented by the Museum and Art Gallery of the Northern Territory and principal partner Telstra, the 42nd annual awards will be held on Larrakia Country in Darwin. This year's selected works reflect powerful connections to country, responses to contemporary issues, and the continuation of culture through diverse artistic practices. Finalists were chosen from 216 entries by a panel of First Nations curators and artists, with the public able to vote for the Telstra People's Choice Award once the exhibition opens. The 2025 NATSIA exhibition will run from the 21st of June 2025 to the 26th of January 2026, with winners to be announced at a ceremony on the 8th of August. The awards continue to be a significant platform for emerging and established Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander artists to gain national recognition. That's today's daily news roundup from the National Indigenous Times. For more news, head to nit.com.au and sign up to our free newsletter today.